Over the past week, Ukrainian forces carried out a series of drone launches in the rear regions of Russia. In Voronezh, one of the drones damaged the facade of a residential complex, and another fell in the southern part of the city. One person was injured. In the Lipetsk region, Ukrainian UAVs attacked the Lipetsk II airfield in the administrative center of the region. One of the hits was on an ammunition depot. 9 people were injured. There were no losses in aircraft. The AFU also once again attempted to attack the territory of the Crimean Peninsula, using both drones and missiles. 3 enemy drones were shot down on approach to Sevastopol, another one in the Orlovka area, and a Neptune anti-ship missile was intercepted over the Black Sea. In turn, Russian troops continued to strike enemy targets on the territory of Ukraine. In the occupied part of the DPR, the Nova Poshta branch in Kostiantynivka, used by the AFU for logistics, was hit. Several hits occurred in the Kharkiv region, where the enemy command post in the Malinivka area was hit. Another strike hit the building of the Regional Border Service Directorate in Kharkov, where Ukrainian forces were located. Meanwhile, the most resonant event was the AFU offensive in the Sudzha and Koronevo districts of the Kursk region. Before the attack, Ukrainian forces carried out a massive shelling of the region and also launched dozens of drones. A few hours later, enemy units began an invasion of the region, occupying border settlements. At the same time, the AFU tried to break through to the maximum depth, pinning down stationary positions with a fight and subsequent ambushes. The battles for the administrative center of the Sudzha district lasted for several days, but the east of the city remained under the control of Russian soldiers. To the north and northwest, Ukrainian SRGs tried to break through towards Koronevo and Lvov, but all attacks were repelled. By the end of the week, the situation had stabilized somewhat. The enemy was digging in the occupied territories and transferring forces. The Russian command also increased the presence of troops in the region, preventing the AFU from expanding their zone of control. In the Slobozhanska direction, Russian units entered the settlements of Sotnitsky Kazachok and Lukashivka. However, both villages changed hands more than once. There is simply nowhere to take up defensive positions there, and they themselves have long been in the gray zone. In the Kupiansk-Svatov direction, positional battles continued in the area of Sinkivka and west of Peshan. The parties took a wait-and-see position and are rotating in the area, without launching major attacks. In the Lyman direction, fighting continued on the outskirts of Makiivka. At the same time, in Nevsky, a bridge over the Zherebets River was destroyed by an X-38 missile strike, which somewhat complicated the supply of the AFU in the area. In the Siversk direction, Russian troops fought fiercely in the Bilohorivka area. The assault troops were able to occupy the territory of the first lift filtration station to the northeast of the village. In the Kromov direction, Russian troops continued to advance in the Oktyabrski micro-district in Chasiv Yar. The assault troops consolidated their positions along the entire Mariupolska street and also expanded their control zone near the Siversky Donets-Donbass Canal. In the Oleksandrivska-Kalinove direction, Russian troops broke through the enemy's defenses in Kirov. The assault troops reached Kalinova and Centralna streets, taking control of most of the territory of the former Severna mine. In New York, advanced detachments secured a foothold in the area of School Number 38 and hoisted a flag on it. To the southeast, the Russian troops advanced 400 meters north along Molodezhna Street, reaching Horlivska Street. In the Pokrovsk direction, Russian troops established control over Lysykny. To the south, units of the Russian troops liberated 𝐒𝐤𝐫𝐚 and 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚, and also advanced in the fields near Yasnobrodivka. In the Donetsk direction, after many months of fighting, Russian troops captured 𝐒𝐤𝐫𝐚. The flag was hoisted on the western outskirts of the village, which became the first real confirmation of control over the settlement. In the South Donetsk direction, the Russian troops continued to bite into the enemy's defenses and landed troops on Chkalova Street in Kostiantynivka. The assault troops also advanced along the pond to the northeastern outskirts of the village near Shakhtyorska, Mira, Shevchenko, and Krynishna streets. In the Vremivka direction, Russian troops expanded their control zone to the east of Urozhainy. The Russian troops advanced along the forest belt up to half a kilometer to the north, while the AFU carried out drone strikes. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, Russian assault aircraft advanced 3 kilometers north to the east of Robotyne. After clearing the stronghold, a consolidation group entered the area and took up new positions. In the Kherson direction, the enemy attempted to land troops on the Tendrivska Kosa and the Kinburn Peninsula. Both attacks were successfully repelled by small arms and artillery fire, as a result of which the AFU retreated with losses.